War. War never changes. It doesn't change for you when you're an adult, and it sure as hell won't change for you when you're a kid. Welcome to Book 1. I'm Kennie M, and his name is Jake.
My name is Jake. Half an hour ago I was just a regular kid. Not anymore. It's amazing how quickly your whole life can change.
The Invasion begins this 54-book saga called Animorphs. Written by K.A. Applegate, it was published between 1996 and 2001. It follows 5 human teenagers, Jake, Cassie, Marco, Rachel, and Tobias, as well as their alien friend and ally, Axe, as they fight an unseen war against an invading alien race called the Yeerks, a parasitic slug-like race that controls a host by sliding into the air and taking over the brain. Invasion introduces us to the characters, the enemies, the powers of the Animorphs, and the rules. The term Animorphs comes from the 6 protagonists' ability to change into any animal they touch, a gift given to them by Axe's race, the Andalites. You see, Axe is on Earth because he knows what it's like to be completely conquered by the Yeerks. He's come to Earth to warn us. As for the rules,
it is done. The power of change is in your flesh.
Change? What kind of change?
You need only to touch a creature to acquire its DNA pattern and change your form.
Change our form? You mean we can change into animals?
Exactly. You can become any animal you touch and acquire, but remember, when you change, you must return to your human form within 2 Earth hours.
Why? What happens after 2 hours?
You will be trapped within that animal form forever.
Animorphs is a huge universe, actually consisting of 64 books, but 10 are companion pieces to the original story, and are called Megamorphs and the Animorph Chronicles. The savory delight of these books are the themes that are addressed within the pages, like horror, war, dehumanization, loss of innocence, mortality, freedom, sanity. There is so much that is touched on. And to think, this was for the 90s version of tweens, a far cry from sparkly vampires now, isn't it? Each book is told in first person by each of the 6 protagonists, beginning with Jake. I think it's time to talk about the characters as they are introduced in the Invasion, but not too much. I don't want to give anything away. Jake is an easygoing kid who's thrown into the role of leader of the young band of warriors. Cassie is a young pacifist and lover of animals. Rachel is the tough girl, headstrong and willful. Marco, the clown, and the reluctant fighter. Tobias is the stranger, the loner, finally part of something bigger than himself. And Axe is the visitor, the beacon of hope for these teenagers, who knows only too well what awaits them. How will this war affect them?
No, funniest thing happened to me last night. Some blue dude with 4 legs put me and a few other idiots trying to save the world.
Quiet. You want someone to hear you?
In 1998, Nickelodeon produced a short-lived series that was based on Animorphs. It starred Sean Astin. You guys know him as Iceman from the X-Men franchise. Why check out Animorphs? Well, Animorphs took on the topic of war and what it's like to be a part of a war. Sure, the characters never had to carry around a gun, but they had to live their lives in a world that was no longer safe for them. They had to live their lives looking over their shoulder and had no one to trust. If they did, it would spell the end of the survival of the human race. They were met every day with dangers. Any of this sounding a little familiar? Animorphs is unfortunately no longer being published by Scholastic. You can find the books on Amazon and digging around a bit on the internet. I honestly think in the world that we live in, we need Animorphs again. And so, I will do a call to action to the one place I never thought I'd call to. Hollywood. Animorphs is a great series of young adult books that focuses on the horrors of war. In the 1990s, it was attempted to bring the books to the small screen with varied results. We, or at least you, Hollywood, have shown that book adaptations can be a billion-dollar enterprise. Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, Twilight. But instead of bringing Animorphs to the big screen, I propose that we bring it to the small screen. Try again. This story is too big, too intense to be brought to the big screen. There is not enough time for the characters to develop. And character development is needed. In the book, it is slow, gradually growing within our protagonists as the world becomes increasingly dangerous for them. Only the greatest of writers and directors can pull off something like this for the big screen. We also now have the technology we didn't have in 1998. Yes, some directors struck gold in the 1990s, making amazing special effects that took our breath away as children. And we have come out of the infancy of CGI from the early 2000s. So now is the time to bring this to life for us and our children. Nostalgia is a powerful tool when used right. Now I'll hand it over to you, Hollywood. It's all in your hands. Now for a few recommendations. If I have sparked your interest in the Animorphs series, but you can't find it anywhere, I highly suggest checking out Pop Arena's opinionated book guide on the series. It's a lot along the lines of SF Debris' opinionated movie and TV guides, with a deep personal look at the series as a whole. His YouTube channel is still available. If you want to see the short-lived TV series with full episodes, for now, it's on YouTube. I still recommend you get the books if you can. It is totally worth it.